You think being ignored is just someone being busy. You think it is just a minor social inconvenience. You believe that because they haven't replied or because they avoid your eyes in a room, they simply have other priorities. You are wrong. Right now, someone is weaponizing silence to see exactly how much control they have over your emotional state. They are using your biological need for validation as a psychological leash. When you sit there staring at a screen, waiting for a message, wondering what you did wrong, you are no longer a priority. You are leverage. Listen carefully. Last night at 2000 a.m., a man attempted suicide. The reason was his best friend had been ignoring him for 3 days. Just 3 more days of silence, and he was broken. This is the real power of ignoring someone. It is not a weapon. It is a nuclear bomb. And today I will tell you exactly how to defend yourself against it, because what you are about to learn will fundamentally change your life forever. When you master the dark psychology of silence, you stop being a victim of other people's power games, and you become completely emotionally untouchable. To understand why this silence hurts you so deeply, you must look past your emotions and understand your clinical biology. For hundreds of thousands of years, human beings survived exclusively in tribes. If you were ignored by your tribe, it meant you were invisible. And if you were invisible, you were no longer protected. In the ancestral world, being cast out meant starvation. It meant death. Your brain is still running this exact same ancient software today. Your neurochemistry is trapped in the Stone Age. When someone ignores you, when they leave your message unread, when they casually dismiss your presence, your conscious mind knows you are safe in your room. But your primal brain, your amygdala, hits the panic button. It releases a massive spike of cortisol. Your heart rate elevates. You feel a sinking, sickening sensation in your stomach. Your neurochemistry literally screams at you that your existence is being erased from the tribe. It demands that you fix the situation immediately. This is exactly what manipulators want. Narcissists, Machiavellians, and energy vampires use the silent treatment because it is the most efficient, clean way to break your boundaries without ever raising their voice. It is the perfect crime. There are no bruises, there are no insults they can be held accountable for. There is only a void, and human beings are terrified of the void. Because there is no clear explanation for their silence, your brain tries to fill the gap. You start investigating your own behavior. You reread your past messages. You analyze every interaction. You ask yourself, did I say something wrong? Was I too needy? Am I not valuable enough? The second you start blaming yourself for their silence, the power dynamic permanently shifts. You have placed them on a pedestal and you have placed yourself on trial. You have successfully forced yourself to negotiate your own self-worth based entirely on their absence. The person who cares less controls the relationship. The person who holds the silence holds the power. But the moment you learn how to reverse this game, their weapon becomes utterly useless. To defend yourself, you must do the exact opposite of what your biological instincts are screaming at you to do. Here are the 3 dark rules of silence to crush anyone who tries to erase you. Rule number 1. Never demand closure. When the silent punishment begins, your primal brain wants to complete the puzzle. This drives you to commit the ultimate sin of social power dynamics, the double text, the desperate demand for closure, the long paragraph explaining your feelings. You tell yourself that you are just being mature. You tell yourself that you just want clear communication. You write a long message asking what you did wrong. Stop. Look at what you are actually doing. Every single time you explain yourself to someone who is actively choosing to ignore you, you are handing them the keys to your self-respect. You are showing them the exact blueprint to your emotional destruction. You are actively teaching them that they have the power to ruin your entire day simply by doing nothing. Closure is a myth invented by the weak. Closure does not exist. It is a fairy tale you tell yourself to justify begging for attention. You do not need a reason. Their silence is the reason. Their disrespect is the closure. Pause and write this down. Now, when someone ignores you, they are communicating that they do not respect you enough to use their words. Why would you ever fight for the attention of someone who sees you as completely disposable? The dark truth is that manipulators want you to ask for closure. because every word you write is an injection of pure ego into their veins. It validates their superiority. The strongest response to being ignored is never retaliation. It is not blocking them in a fit of rage. It is not posting sad quotes on social media to make them jealous. That still proves they control your emotions. The strongest response is complete, clinical indifference. You match their energy with terrifying precision. You delete the conversation. You remove your attention completely. Let them sit in the void they created. Rule number 2. The doctrine of the dead face. Being ignored through a screen is one thing. Being ignored in person is a completely different level of psychological warfare. If you are in a social setting, a meeting, or a gathering, and someone deliberately talks over you, avoids your eye contact, or dismisses your presence, your biology will try to betray you. Your face will flush. You will look down. You will cross your arms in a defensive posture. Or worse, you will start laughing nervously and overcompensating to win their approval. You will agree with everything they say just to get a scrap of their attention. You must kill this reaction immediately. You must master the dead face. The doctrine of the dead face is the absolute dictatorial control of your micro-expressions. When someone attempts to minimize you in public, you lock your emotions in a steel vault. You do not break eye contact. You do not fidget with your hands. You do not offer a fake nervous smile to soften the tension. You look at them with absolute clinical indifference. You treat them as if they are a completely uninteresting piece of furniture. You do not show anger. Anger means they affected you. Anger means they hold power over your nervous system. You show a chilling lack of concern. Manipulators thrive on the discomfort of others. They expect you to shrink. They expect you to scramble for their favor. When you do not shrink, when you hold your space, breathe slowly, and look through them with cold, dead eyes, their weapon misfires. The psychological tension they tried to put on your shoulders bounces off your armor and hits them directly in the chest. Suddenly, they are the ones feeling the pressure. They are the ones feeling awkward. They are the ones wondering what you know that they do not. By refusing to show pain, you protect your status. You signal to their subconscious mind that your reality is so solid and your foundation so deep that their petty mind games do not even register on your radar. You are not ignoring them back out of spite. You simply have better things to do. Rule number 3, the sovereign withdrawal. Most people think the opposite of being ignored is being noticed. So they act out, they get louder, they try to show off. They buy expensive things, or they constantly talk about their achievements, desperately trying to show the person who ignored them exactly what they are missing out on. This is a pathetic display of submission. It is a fatal mistake. Even if you are showing off how great your life is, you are still performing for them. They still own the audience of your mind. The true opposite of being ignored is not being noticed. It is sovereignty. Sovereignty is the ultimate power move. When someone uses silence as a control tactic, they fully expect you to stick around in their orbit. They expect you to wait on the sidelines for the moment they decide to throw you a scrap of attention. They think they have you figured out. The ultimate counterattack is to break their prediction model entirely. You walk away so quietly, so permanently, and so efficiently that they do not even realize you are gone until it is far too late. You do not announce your departure. You do not seek revenge. You take all the frantic, anxious energy you were burning on wondering why they did not reply, and you weaponize it. You turn that anxiety into aggression, but not aggression toward them, aggression toward your own goals. You pour that dark energy into your physical training until your body changes. You pour it into your bank account until your numbers multiply. You pour it into your education, your business, your silent, relentless ambition. You distance yourself and become so violently busy with your own growth that their behavior becomes completely irrelevant. And here is the psychological trick they never saw coming. Rewind this if needed. When you truly withdraw, not as a tactic to make them miss you, but because you have genuinely descented them from your life, they will feel it. Human beings are hypersensitive to shifts in attention. The manipulator will notice that the supply of your validation has been cut off. Their brain will begin to short circuit. They will wonder, why didn't they chase me? Did they find someone better? Was I not as important as I thought? They will try to reach out. They will send a casual text, a simple, "Hey, it's been a while." This is not an apology. This is a scouting mission. They are testing the perimeter to see if they still own you. You look at the message, you feel absolutely nothing, and you ignore it. You teach them that your attention is the most expensive currency in the world, and they have gone bankrupt. Listen to me. The world is full of broken people who will try to use you, drain you, and ignore you to elevate their own pathetic egos. You cannot stop them from trying to play their games, but you have absolute control over how much access they get to your mind. While others beg for attention, you build empires. While others crave external validation, you generate it internally. You build an emotional fortress where your self-worth is entirely disconnected from their behavior. That is not revenge. That is sovereignty. And sovereignty is the quiet, terrifying superpower that separates the broken from the unbreakable. You deserve relationships and environments where you do not need to wear heavy armor just to survive. But until you find them, you must protect your energy like it is gold. Stop seeking their attention. Focus on your own life. Do not appear desperate. If you want to see reality clearly and learn the dark psychological frameworks that control the masses, subscribe right now and hit the bell notification. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your eyes open and never react. See you in the next video.